You know, I like squash quite a bit. In fact, so much that I decided to grow a good amount of it this second year in the garden. In the summer, you've got yellow crookneck squash, zucchini squash. Then in the winter, acorns and butternut, and of course the classic fall squash, the pumpkin. Unfortunately though, as much as I like squash, there's some creatures on the planet that like it even a little bit more. Yeah, that's right. It's not all sunshine and flowers in the garden. Well, it sort of is all sunshine and flowers, but there's bugs to deal with too. The squash vine borer, the cucumber beetle, the squash bugs, and the list just seems like it goes on, and they keep coming back for more. The first bug to contend with in the squash garden is the aptly named squash bug. They will lay eggs on the top of leaves that look like little brown jewels. From there, they'll hatch immature squash bugs that will run amok in the squash garden, literally sucking the life out of all the squash plants. The second bug to contend with is called the cucumber beetle. Now don't be fooled by the name, it doesn't care. Squash, cucumbers, it'll take all comers. The issue with the cucumber beetle is it really impedes the fruit or vegetable development on your squash plants throughout the entire year because they like to go inside of the blossoms, and that's where they suck the sap and again the life force out of the plant. Now not only will they go to the squash blossoms, but sometimes they'll actually go to the root system and the base of the plant the entire time, damaging the plant and also stealing energy from it. Now this last bug is known by gardeners and farmers all around the globe by three simple letters. The SVB, the squash vine borer. It is the most devastating insect that attacks a squash crop all year long. And the problem with it is you may not even know you have them until it's too late and they've destroyed all of your plants. What it is a small little insect that looks a little bit like a wasp but is actually a moth. It will find and inject holes in the stem system and root system of a squash plant. Now from there, those eggs are injected and they grow into larvae. And those larvae eat their way through the stem system, hollowing it out as they go. So a plant may look perfectly healthy, and 3 days later, a good-sized crop of SVB will get into that stem system and totally destroy a plant. I grow everything organically here in the garden. Now just because that's the case doesn't mean we can go around spraying organic solutions anytime and any way we want to. That's why it's so important to learn exactly what bugs are causing us problems. Now the first bug, the squash bug, can be treated with neem oil, which comes from a tropical tree called the neem. Now the problem with this is it's an oil. So if sprayed in the heat of the day, it will literally toast your plants. So it's best applied early in the morning or just as the sun starts to go down. Now once you've treated the plant with the neem oil, it should prevent the bugs from wanting to take a bite out of your plant. Now, if you're already in the middle of a full-blown squash bug invasion, it may be a little bit too late for neem oil, so your only solution may be to literally squash the bugs and their eggs. Now the only product that's even remotely effective against squash vine borers is called Bacillus thuringiensis, better known, easier said, as BT. BT is a naturally occurring bacterium. Now when it's applied to squash plants, the larva stage of the squash vine borer ingests it and stops eating, and after that, stops being. Now, if you see little holes around the stem system of your squash plant that have an orangey, yellow, powdery looking substance next to it, referred to as frass, that's where the adult squash vine borer made entry into the plant. So spray the BT if you see that, or if your plant looks generally wilty at all. Now once it's applied, wait another week, give it another application. If the plant bounces back and looks fine, just leave it alone and you should have a happy and fruitful growing season. Next time you see a squash, take a moment and think about all the time and care that went into keeping it away from the bugs and bringing it to your table. And I think it's about time we brought them to our table and start working on our recipes.